All right, today we're going to talk about leads. Where do I get leads? Agents are always asking. I need leads, I need leads. And I'll say this. There are a number of lead sources. We'll dive into the biggest, we'll save the biggest and the best lead source for last. But first we're going to talk about, one of the lead sources is creating lead magnets. That's going to be just different things that you will use to attract leads. It could be ebooks, it could be free reports, it could be home seller guides, home buyer guides. Those are what we would call lead magnets. And those would be things that someone might sign up for. I'm sure many of you have signed up for something in order to get something else. And it's a way where a consumer, a lead, will enter usually their name, phone number, email, maybe their address in exchange for something that you provide to them. So you can do that in some type of funnel, some type of lead funnel, some type of, there are several CRMs and different funnel campaigns that you can use, but they do this, they get that from you. And then you're gonna walk them through a series of a funnel where you are providing value. You always wanna make sure that you're providing more value than what you're asking for. And if you do that, that is one way to attract leads. Another way to attract leads, to generate leads, is by putting on educational events. Home seller seminars is one. Home buyer seminars is another, probably the most popular are the home buyer seminars, where you'll bring in maybe a panel of experts. You might bring in a title rep, you might bring in a lender, you might bring in a home improvement person or a home inspector, and they will, the four of you or the five of you will put on a seminar. You will attract buyers, prospective home buyers that will come to this seminar to learn about the process. What is all this about? I want to buy a house. And home buyer seminars don't have to be necessarily for first-time home buyers. You see those, I'd say they're more prevalent, but they can be for people, move-up buyers, because they might have a home to sell. Just like a home seller seminar. What does the process look like? And these are events that you can put on in person, live events. Well, there should always be live, but some of them can be virtual. So you can put them on where you are in the same space as the leads and the prospective home buyers or home sellers, and others where you can do this on Zoom or some other virtual platform. The advantage of doing it on Zoom, of course, is that you can get more people to attend that might not otherwise drive across town to your office or to your hotel space to participate in your event. So those are the first two. Another way that you can generate leads, is through social media ads. Running Instagram ads, TikTok ads, Facebook ads, YouTube ads. Again, you are offering some value, but you are running ads in order for people to see the value. So, you're running these ads. People will see your ad, and then usually it goes back to that widget or that lead magnet that you will be offering them. So you've gotten yourself in front of them. They might have to wait 3 seconds or 15 seconds, depending on the type of ad you're running. And so they're going to hear what you have to say. They have no choice because they want to see what's on the other side of your ad. That's what they really want to see. But in the meantime, you are hoping to offer something of value to them. But that ad actually gets you in that space. And then that's when that lead magnet comes into play, and they see something that's interesting, you say something that's interesting, something of value, they click, they enter their information, you're able to capture it, and you're able to nurture that person to generate that lead opportunity, and hopefully that lead will turn into a prospect. Now another lead magnet, another lead source, a way to attract leads, is by doing new construction or new development videos. Talking about new construction, different new construction sites, going to the planning board, being ahead of the curve, not, after they're almost finished building. You show up, but better late than never. But how about knowing, hey, right now all we see are trees, and over the next few years, these trees are going to turn into, 472 townhouses, single families, and condos. If you could provide that type of information, you can attract followers. People will want to know more, and you can ask people to opt in to get the latest information on this particular development in city near you, XYZ city near you. And so that's another way that you can, attract leads, attract opportunities for people to get information. People always want to be in the know. People want to know something more than the next person knows. So if you can be the one that disseminates that information, provide and help people get in the know, then that's going to be a way that you can attract people into your sales funnel and attract additional leads. All right, and another way to attract leads, or really this is really more way to attract prospects, which is the next level higher than a lead, is through some type of newsletter, either a physical newsletter or an email newsletter. And in this, you're trying to get people to raise their hand. So these might be people already on the list. You can send this by neighborhood. So you might target a particular, every door direct mail, they might get, these 600 people might get your physical newsletter. And in that newsletter, you could drive them then to one of your educational events, home seller seminar, home buyer seminar, and you're getting them to raise their hand. So they might already be a lead, meaning you just know that they're a person or an address, but you're trying to turn that lead into a prospect, someone who is interested in what it is that you have to offer, or interested in possibly relocating, buying or selling a house. Now, I'd say in all of these different lead sources and things that we're talking about, a lead is really nothing if you're not going to work the lead. So a lot of times agents and other business people are constantly trying to find new ways to reach people, find new ways to generate leads. But if you're not actually going to pick up the phone and call them, if you're not going to reach out to them, if you're not going to nurture the lead, you're probably not going to end up with much other than just some phone numbers, names, emails, and maybe addresses. But that doesn't mean they're going to do business with you. You have to build a relationship. This is real estate, just like many other businesses, is a relationship business. You generate business based on the work that you have done and earned. Business is not just going to be given. Now, you may get lucky. We all get lucky sometimes. You run into someone and they turn into a client right away, buy a house right away, sell a house right away. That does happen. That will happen over the course of your career. But the majority of your business is going to be nurtured. It's not going to be the person you meet today is not going to buy a house tomorrow. They might buy a house next month or next year or 3 years later or 5 years later. Or that person might be a source of additional leads, which brings us to the biggest and best and most important lead source, and that's going to be your sphere of influence. A lot of times we are, nervous about talking to the people that already know, like, and trust us. Remember, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. If they already know, like, and trust you, then why wouldn't they do business with you? They would. And even if they aren't in the market to buy or sell a house right now, they know people who are. So your sphere of influence is actually the fastest way to generate business right now, is by talking to the people that you already know and asking them, who do they know that's thinking about moving out of the area or moving into the area? And if you do that on a consistent basis, then you will generate business. Don't feel overwhelmed like, oh, well, I feel like I'm begging, or I don't want to beg for the business. All you're doing is just have a conversation. Talk to the people that already know you, and they will help you. People generally are kind, and we want to help each other. So if the people that know, like, and trust you already, if they can help you, they'll help you, even if they're not in the market. So it's not a conversation of, hey, do you want to buy or sell? No, click. Do you want to buy or sell? No, click. It's who do you know that's thinking about buying a house, or who do you know that's thinking about moving into the neighborhood? And they'll say, you know what, my cousin was thinking about moving from California to Maryland or to DC. Whatever that looks like, just being natural, be yourself, have a conversation, and that is going to be, of all of these other ways, and between funnels, between seminars, between lead magnets, events, educational, either virtual events, in-person events, newsletters, e-newsletters, all of these different things, new development videos, new construction videos, social media ads. The one that stands out the most and the one that's going to be the largest source of actual business is going to be your sphere of influence, SOI. So don't underestimate your sphere of influence. Lean into that, and if you can just focus on that alone, if you had to pick one, that's the one to pick. It doesn't cost you much money. It just takes time, right? You're not going to get something for nothing. You're not going to get the $10, $20, $30,000 commission check easily. You're going to have to work for it. But if it's worth it, you'll do the work. So hopefully these are some ways that can help you in the future, generate some lead opportunities and ultimately generate some business. I'm Melvin Yates, and I'll see you next time.